What comes to mind when you think of Japanese mascot characters? Hello Kitty, Totoro, Sadako. There are many characters in Japan. From store mascots to local mascots, characters are inseparably linked to Japan. Foreign characters are also popular, and Snoopy has been a staple for children for many years as a stuffed animal or stationery. Moomin and Miffy are also familiar, and recently SpongeBob may also be a popular icon. So, do you know the most popular character in Japan right now? In the highly competitive character market, there is a character that is so overwhelmingly popular that no one, from adults to children, does not know about it. That is, Chikawa. It has brought a huge economic effect to Japan, and the event in January 2025 brought an economic effect of 46.3 billion yen. Nowadays, it is also overwhelmingly popular in Asia. This time, we will explain about Chikawa. Chikawa started as a web manga on Twitter by the author Nagano in 2020, and a book was released in 2021. In 2022, it was broadcast as a 2-minute anime in a morning information program Corner, won first place in the 2022 Character Grand Prix, and became widely known to the public. In 2023, Chikawa collaborated with Ariana Grande, who is known to be a Japanophile, in the music video for Santa Tell Me, further increasing his popularity. The name Chikawa was given because it means small and cute. The author Nagano's wish to, I want to live like this, is embodied in this character. In this manga, which is composed only of facial expressions, Chikawa hardly utters any words other than no and yes. Many adults who are not familiar with the character may be irritated by the image of a crybaby and timid character, and think that in a harsh competitive society, it's not the time to cry. However, Chikawa has transcended such boundaries and is a character loved by people of all ages and genders. At first glance, a character for children has captivated even adult men. Let's unravel the mystery and secrets of Chikawa's charm. The aforementioned Twitter manga is basically a heartwarming depiction of everyday life, with no major drama, and was initially thought to be a manga aimed at gentle healing. The psychological depiction that makes you dote on the weak characters and want to protect them like pets is characteristic. However, it gradually becomes clear that Chikawa is very different from other children's characters. In the world depicted in Chikawa, there are enemies that attack Chikawa. Like The Legend of Zelda or Dragon Quest, enemies attack randomly and the player must defeat them like a monster hunter. Enemies suddenly appear in this warm and peaceful everyday world, making Chikawa and the readers uneasy. They sometimes appear even when you are sleeping at home. Sometimes monsters suddenly invade the characters' houses because there is no door. It is so unexpected that you can't take your eyes off Chikawa and his friends. It is harsher than the human world. The protagonist, Chikawa, has two best friends. Usagi. Usagi has been friends with Chikawa for a long time, and at first, she tickles Chikawa and teases him a little, but Usagi is the stronger of the two. With the appearance of Hachiware, which will be described later, the distance and relationship between the two seems to have changed. At first glance, Usagi seems to be free-spirited and always shouts loudly and is selfish, but he is very capable and good at fighting, and has passed the Weeding certification exam up to the 3rd level, making her the most reliable of the three. Although she never openly expresses her friendship to Chikawa and the others, she brings presents to Chikawa and Hachiware and watches over them from a distance. Although he has such a casual side, he also has a strong-willed side, such as easily pushing away the belligerent Momonga, with whom he doesn't get along. He is a reliable ally, but he often gets his friends in trouble with his unexpected actions. In the beginning, there were rumors that Usagi, who is smart and hard to understand, is actually the enemy, a planned criminal who brings trouble, but now their friendship has stabilized, and viewers are relieved. Hachiware. Although Hachiware is not a cat, his model is a Hachiware cat. He seems to have become friends with Usagi and Chikawa halfway through, and is the one who brought harmony to Usagi and Chikawa's world. Unlike the other two who do not speak, he is very talkative and always speaks for the two, playing the role of a narrator who explains the story. He has many hobbies, is interested in many things, is good at cooking, and takes good care of Chikawa and the others. He is kind, caring, curious, has many hobbies, is funny, and is smart. He has saved Usagi from trouble many times, and is respected by Usagi. At first glance, he seems to be a perfect honor student, but he also has a dangerous side, such as being a bit absent-minded and not realizing that he is in a critical situation. Chikawa. The protagonist of this work, Chikawa, is kind and caring towards his friends, but he is shy, a crybaby, and dependent. In order to earn money to buy a present for his best friend, Hachiware, he takes the weeding certification exam for level 5, but fails and is depressed. Meanwhile, Hachiware, who took the exam with him, passes, creating an awkward atmosphere. Hachiware is worried about how to talk to Chikawa, but the next day, Chikawa gives Hachiware another present and asks him to help him study in return. Hachiware is touched by Chikawa's actions of trying to change the awkward atmosphere and is moved to tears. Chikawa's strong figure, who solves the gap in friendship that everyone experiences as an adult in a gentle way, has touched the hearts of many adults. Although he is usually timid, there are several scenes where he musters up his courage and takes brave actions to protect someone. As you watch, you realize that he is not just a weak character. He is like a kind-hearted friend to everyone, with the charm of the protagonist hidden inside. Even if I am a weak person, I want to live like this. Seeing him makes me feel that way and I can't help to move. The world in which Chikawa and his friends live is depicted as a paradise, with rice cookers and places where sweets boil, but there are also ominous beings, such as enemies that suddenly attack and witches lurking in the shadows. It is not a world where you can just play and live. They earn money by taking on jobs such as weeding and exterminating monsters from a race called Yoroi-san. It is a controlled society, so much so that fans mock it as a world of day laborers. On the other hand, there is also Yoroi-san, who does not have a bad relationship with the Yoroi-san and always cares about Chikawa and his friends. However, such Yoroi-san is sometimes warned by his superiors that he is getting too close to Chikawa and his friends, so there may be a wall between Yoroi-san, who is a manager, and Chikawa and his friends, who are workers. The social structure in this area has not yet been fully revealed. In the story, Chikawa and her friends are forced into many harsh situations, and some fans have mocked the author as a psychopath for forcing such innocent and lovable characters into such harsh situations. Nagano's story development has been questioned by overseas fans in replies to X, and has become a source of laughter among fans. The author has revealed very few details about herself, and there have been rumors that she is a man due to her harsh style of writing, but she has previously stated that she is a woman and says that she secretly participates in events for the work, mixing in with the general audience. The author has an older brother, and as a child she often watched him play games, but there is an episode in which the brother blames his sister Nagano for his failures. This is a common childhood episode depicting an unreasonable relationship between siblings, but it seems that these childhood power relationships are reflected in the psychology of the characters in the story who are in a weaker position. Nursery rhymes and songs learned in school music classes are also frequently inserted into the work, which may be deeply connected to the author's childhood memories. Personally, I feel that the author is not so much a psychopath, but rather a woman of strong convictions who never forgot kindness even when she was in a weak or difficult position, and that this strength is what creates characters who try to live brightly, even in the author's unique, somewhat harsh, worldview. The anime has been very well received, and it perfectly reproduces the delicate touch and image of the original work. In particular, the voices of the characters are actual children's voices, and the theme song is a song written by Hachiware himself in the work. Recently, fans have been excited by the news that Hachiware's voice actor has changed his voice quality as he has reached adolescence. In addition, in the manga, there is a development that suggests that the enemy characters that appear in Chikawa were originally the same species as Chikawa and his friends, and various speculations are flying among fans. One of the leading theories is that Chikawa and his friends become monsters when they become obsessed with strength. The characters who are tremble between kindness and strength, two sometimes contradictory concepts, may be an unintended theme of this work. Until now, popular Japanese works such as Demon Slayer and Death Note have reflected the unique moral values of Japanese people, who are said to have little religious faith, and have depicted modern standards of good and evil that even adults can think about, but Chikawa also seems to depict a moral value that resonates with the hearts of modern adults. Fans are watching the future developments of the work and praying for a happy ending.